tradesman to me is the best option when it comes down to building, especially if you find yourself with a nice $10 million and you can get up and build a place yourself. And you don't need that either for start. If you have $2, $3, $4 million for start, you can start build your house. Depends on what you're looking for. Some people just want a 2-room and a bathroom and a kitchen and a veranda, 2 veranda back and forth. And most of the time, I tell people to say, if you have a couple $1 million, you can get that done. You know, try to avoid the realtors if you can. The lawyers, you can never avoid them. So just put on your lawyer money. If you don't have to go to a third party to look for the property or obtain the property, which is the realtors and stuff, so forth. If you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. Because sometimes, to be honest, some realtors sit down on some decent piece of lots. They might not really, we might not want to spend the money really for it, but sometimes it's worth it. The realtor fee can run a lot of money, because if you even buy a piece of lot, feel like say maybe $4 million, $5 million, the realtor will probably get a 400 grand off of you. So if you can avoid that, you can't lose off of yourself, you know. You only can lose off of people, to be honest. To be honest, there's a lot of ways to save money when you're building a house than when you buy. When you buy, you spend so much unnecessary money, which you don't need to spend when you're building. You will spend unnecessary money, yes, but not the way. When you're buying, it's so many things you got to go through. Not only that, most of the time, we all know, so you're taking out a mortgage. Most people, not everyone, most people taking out a mortgage. Once you start doing that, you know how much unnecessary money you spend? Compared to, yes, like I said, they will nick you here and there, thief from you a little bit when you have bill and stuff, but you still have a better chance of owning your house. And I tell people all the time, say, when you get up and you want something, you know, like Jamaica people say, nose have to run. You have to actually put your boots on the ground. You have to get your feet on the ground. You have to take your plane and go along down there yourself. Don't expect nobody to look out for your best interest. No mother, no sister, no brother, nobody. Don't trust anyone to look out for your best interest, because they won't. And that's just the way life works. Even your children, they're not going to look, they're going to go down and go enjoy themselves. Not so they don't really want it for you, no, but it's just a fact that they're going to enjoy themselves. My God, Jamaica going to enjoy themselves with their money. They're not going to look out for your best interest. So the only way for you to find that land, if you're really interested in finding that land, is to get up and go to Jamaica. So, I don't understand, like, if nothing on realize, you know, they have the opportunity to really build something at Jamaica, and it's actually cheaper to build at Jamaica than it is to even buy a house in America. And me not tell nobody say I have nothing in America, you know, because if you live here, you obviously you have to have somewhere. You understand me? Or you should, if you have kids here and family. That's something that enough away get it confused, like me I said, and pack up all the things and run go to Jamaica and don't have nothing. If you don't want to have something, listen to me, to each his own. Who want to have what them have at Jamaica, who want to have what them have at America, wherever it is, that's your business, to be honest. But that's not talking in general about me. I couldn't know, say, no for uno can actually have a decent house at Jamaica regardless of what's going on, and especially with what's going on right now in America. If you don't want to have something at Jamaica, something wrong with you, to be honest. You understand me? Especially if you can do it on your own terms. Because buying a piece of land, you know, all you have to do is get up on the plane, you know, and go down and go look at a piece of land, you know. So everybody's upon the land, it's hard. Of course, everything is hard in life. Nothing ever easy in life. It's not impossible though. That's the thing. It's not impossible. A lot of people want to make it seem as if it's impossible to find a piece of land in Jamaica. If you go down there, you're not gonna find nothing. Listen, anything anyone wants out of life, the same way we can get up and come in this country, Canada, Europe, anywhere, just get up and go. And enough people go everywhere, and people can live anywhere they want to live. You know, don't get that wrong. But me, I talk to the people them there where do want to go home, and that's afraid to, or they feel like it's impossible right now to say go buy a house. Build a house. Why not? It's not impossible to build a house. It's never been impossible. Me definitely would build another house. For the simple fact that it's easier. Now me know exactly how to go about it. But we definitely do it again. Some people have it as if you get up and take your time, it's a shame in a game. You don't have to get up and build a big old humongous house. And everybody build house for different reasons. Me build my house for a different reason. People are like, oh, big house. It's not about big house. It's about the fact that I have plans for it. I have plans for what me can generate something for myself and my family later on in life. Excuse me. Now, let me let you off first. Number one reason why it's easier to build a house in Jamaica than buying a house, because you don't have to be rich. to build a house. You don't have to have all the money all at once to build a house. You don't have to. You could actually just build, start, stop, build when you have the cash, and keep on moving. Which in America you can't do that. In Jamaica, you can actually take your time, find your lot, put your materials on there little by little. I mean, no say yes, you do have the little teeth them and stuff or will come around, but all you have to do is take your time. Some people feel like say buying the house is easier because they don't have to do nothing, and I get that. But remember, I know the thing will coming along with buying a house in Jamaica between 15 to 30 years mortgage. To me, you double, triple your money spending. You understand me? Yeah, you will get nick when you're building out here and there from either a contractor or even your workman, your tradesman or your labor or whatever. You will get nick here and there, but you have a better chance of owning your home. I mean, rightfully owning your home without worrying about all you have to worry about your taxes. And I already said how I feel about gated community, but I'm not going to even touch that again because that's a dead thing for me right now. So, but as far as building again, of course we're going to build again. Why we shouldn't build another house? Because it's easier. I ain't going to sit up here and tell nobody I'm not buying none. Of course I buy a house in Jamaica because it's easy at the time and it was accessible to me at the time. Back then houses are cheap. You understand me? Back then things was very cheap, so it was easy to do those things. Now, if you have, say, couple $1 million, you have a start of a $2, $3, $4, $5 million. Go build your house, buy a piece of land, because regardless of what, no people not telling this, I'm not gonna gatekeep. You still can find property or a piece of land for $2 to $3 million. Yes, you can. Try if you avoid the realtor to them if you really want to save some money, but if you cannot, well then you just cannot. You understand? To be honest, there's a lot of ways to save money when you're building a house than when you buy. When you buy, you have so much things to go through. You spend so much unnecessary money, which you don't need to spend when you're building. You will spend unnecessary money, yes, but not the way. When you're buying, it's so many things you got to go through. Not only that, most of the time, we all know, so you're taking out a mortgage. Most people, not everyone, most people taking out a mortgage. Once you start doing that, you know how much unnecessary money you spend? Comparing to the, yes, like I said, they will nick you here and there, teeth from you a little bit when you have bill and stuff, but you still have a better chance of owning your house. And I tell people all the time, say, when you get up and you want something, you know, like Jamaica people say, nose have to run. You have to actually put your boots on the ground. You have to get your feet on the ground. You have to take a plane and go along down there yourself. Don't expect nobody to look out for your best interest. No mother, no sister, no brother, nobody. Don't trust anyone to look out for your best interest because they won't. And that's just the way life works. Even your children, they're not going to look, they're going to go down, they're going to enjoy themselves. Not that they don't really want it for you, no, but it's just a fact that they're going to enjoy themselves. My God, Jamaica going to enjoy themselves with their money. They're not going to look out for your best interest. So the only way for you to find that land, if you're really interested in finding that land, is to get up and go to Jamaica. A lot of people think, say, calling people and asking people to do things for them are going to solve them problem. It's not going to solve your problem. I can tell you that right now. Asking people to look for land, even if you buy a house and you ask them to look for you, if you're going to look on it, the first thing you have to do is give them money if you're going to look on it. You understand me? You have to go buy it, which is, that's understandable, to be honest. If you want somebody to do anything for you, you can't expect them to come out their own pocket and buy gas and run up and down for you. That's just not the case. But what I'm trying to say is this. In order for you to find anything in Jamaica, you actually have to get up, sacrifice some time, any means necessary, and go down to Jamaica and look for the piece of land yourself. Number one, I said it before, try to avoid the realtors if you can. The lawyers, you can never avoid them, so just put on your lawyer money. If you don't have to go to a third party to look for the property or obtain the property, which is the realtors and stuff, so forth, if you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. Because sometimes, to be honest, some realtors sit down on some decent piece of lots. They might not really, we might not want to spend the money really for it, but sometimes it's worth it. The realtor fee can run a lot of money, because if you even buy a piece of lot, feel like say maybe $4 million, $5 million, the realtor will probably get a 400 grand off of you. So if you can avoid that, avoid it. So that's why I say to people all the time, say if you can find yourself at Jamaica and look for yourself, you can't lose. You can't lose off of yourself, you know. You only can lose off of people, to be honest. The fuck you doing? Anyway, you only can pretty much lose after self unless you just worthless. And that's the truth. Come and tell people all the time, say it's not as hard. And why me that definitely build again? Because me know now what I should do and what I shouldn't do. My biggest mistake was trusting people at times to look out for my best interest. And to be honest, I said it's the worst decision anyone could ever make about building in Jamaica. Buying the lot is something that enough away don't really understand sometimes, so we're afraid. But you're not going to pass on your money to people just like that. You're going to look. You're going to find out like the information. Furthermore, you get a surveyor, land surveyor, if you're going to look on the land for you. You're going to pay a little money there, so, but it's still not going to be expensive. It's not as expensive as you might think. You understand me? If you get your plan dried up, you can get your plan dried up anyway. You don't have to do it at Jamaica. You can go online and get a plan dried up for your house just the same. You get good laborers. You don't have to use contractors. You can avoid that. I've said that before. You can avoid them completely, to be honest with you. The only suggestion I will always tell people, if you're going to do a majority of work most of the time, try to take some time. If you and your husband want to only to find time and go down there for even days in and out, just to make sure that everything is going well. And the majority of the work, when you have to do the spending for buy your material, you do it for buy it yourself. You don't give nobody your money for buy the material. Look at things like cement and stuff where you can say, give me a receipt and stuff. Those things are easy. When it comes down to your roofing, make sure you're there on the ground when your roof is going on. Either you're slabbing or you're putting on a regular roof. Those little things are the things that takes the most money. Electrician, make sure you're there, even though you might not understand the full, dynamics of it. Still make sure you're there when that's getting done. Your plumbing, stuff like that. So your foundation, most of all, you make sure you're there. You see, enough of the mistake we'll make is trusting people. And if you leave it in a people's hand, your house not gonna get done in time. Even if you put all of the money in the world, panic. Me gonna tell you right now, you will come back and find out say a post lean, the wall lean. I've experienced it, and it's something that we all will face. Even if you're using a contractor, because remember now the contractor there, that don't mean say he might pay attention either. You understand me? Him just a hire same laborer and tradesman for come do the work. The contractor not do the work by himself. Him just a tell people, dictate to people what to do. That's basically it. It's nothing to it. You understand me? So a lot of the time, I'm find out say a lot of contractors do watch my videos too. So sometimes they get all smart and I say, this stuff you use a contractor, use a contractor. Me I tell people so you don't have to. If you want to go ahead, there's nothing wrong with using them, because regardless of what them supposed to have the expertise, and you understand me, and understanding of building property the right way to begin with. But a lot of them don't give a shit about your property in the first place, about your building if they might build. So I can tell you that right now. Some of them just by the weekend they get a paycheck and even not even pay the tradesman them or the laborer them the right amount of money what I'm supposed to get. So that's the problem why me trust none of them for pay. Me will pay myself. You understand me? And anybody where if them have to pay somebody, me gonna make sure say me call it individuals and I'm interested in them get their money. You understand? Make them know so the money there. If they can reach there, all of them have to show up and the money is supposed to there. You understand? But anyway, you can spend millions on buying a house, and it goes only to fees, taxes, all the other stuff that you have to pay, and it doesn't even go towards building equity in your house. When it comes down to your principal balance, it's not going to help. Most of all, whenever you buy a house in Jamaica, anyone knows you spend a lot of money just on fees, taxes that you have to pay the government. If you do go through Realtor, their fees is expensive too, because you're looking at a $4.5 to $5 billion house. You're giving them at least $500,000 just to show you around. You get what I'm saying? So it might not be in your best interest to even use a realtor if you can avoid them. When you're looking for your land, get your backside down at Jamaica and go walk up and down and look for your land yourself. You hear me? Because you can avoid all of that. The only people you cannot avoid and you should not avoid is a lawyer to represent you, to make sure that you're on the right track, you're doing all the right things. They will guide you and they will do most of the things for you. Most of it is done, your lawyer can just do it for you. And you don't have to pay twice, because if you get a realtor, you're going to wind up paying twice for the same thing, And if you couldn't do it yourself, be your own realtor. You get what I'm saying? When it comes down to building, you could be your own contractor. You just need to be there. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what a contractor do. All they do is go and show up and tell people what to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's two of you and your husband going, take turns. That's it. It's not as hard as people might want to make it seem to build a house in Jamaica. People are just afraid. Oh, they don't want to deal with this. Listen, Jamaica have changed over the years. People need work. People want work. So, yes, I can say sometimes it's hard to find quality workmen, laborers, contractors, anyone. You get what I'm saying? Tradesman, to me, is the best option when it comes down to building, especially if you find yourself with a nice $10 million and you can get up and build your place yourself. And you don't need that either for start. If you have $2, $3, $4 million for start, you can start building a house. Depends on what you're looking for. Some people just want a 2-room and a bathroom and a kitchen and a veranda, 2 veranda back and forth. And most of the time, I tell people to say, if you have a couple $1 million, you can get that done. You understand me? Most of the time, it's the fixtures on the inside as far as like plumbing, electricity and stuff that will take a little bit of change. But you can also take your time and put that in. You don't have to rush into anything. And that's what I love about building your house. You can take your time, pace yourself to where your pocket reach. Wherever your pocket reach, just stop, go along, re-up, and come back again. You understand? So a lot of people feel like, say, when you're building, you have to have everything. No, you don't, because most of the time, if you say you have your land already and your property start, say your house start, your foundation there, and wherever you stop, that's where your money stop. That's it. Wherever the money stop, that's where you stop, and you move on to the next. The minute nobody come convince you, say you have to do this first or you have to do that first. You take your time and go and do what you can do. The number one thing a lot of people fail to understand, that you do not have to be rich to build a house in Jamaica. You don't have to have a lot of money to start your house in Jamaica and get it done. All you have to do is find time. Find time for yourself. Invest in yourself. That's it. A lot of people feel like they must have a lot of money. Mr. People take up and say, Lord, we're ready to go buy a house and go through the whole heap of borrowing money and stuff and in a debt. You're in a debt for 30 years. You can't borrow money to and build just the same, and it's still less than when you buy the house. But I wouldn't suggest that either, because if you can't start on your own, find the land yourself, and you have a 2 million, 3 million Jamaican dollar, or a 20 grand US dollar, or a 30 grand, you can more than start your house and still live in it. Even it might not complete, but you can still get a room and a bathroom done and a little kitchen. If you can't live in that, you can complete it. A lot of people don't know this, because remember, once you have a roof on Jamaica, that's a start. Getting the roof on is the most important thing in Jamaica when you start your house. You get what I'm saying? So we can't tell people this all the time. If you plan to go to Jamaica and you want to go to Jamaica, go along, go look for your land yourself and build your house yourself. Don't make no wait for nobody to do it for you, because if a people are wait for to get it done, good luck, because they not do it for you. I can't tell you that right now. They take your money and go spend it and mobilize them will try to build a house for themselves with your money before they do anything for you. And that's just the way the world works right now. Every man for themselves. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. God bless.